Hello everyone and welcome back to Transport Fever 2. We're going to be playing a new region. This is going to be the region that we're going to be playing. It's got a fair few rivers here, and it's also a very large 1x1 map. So that's 16 by 16 kilometers, or a total of 256 squared kilometers, I believe. 21 towns, so 21 cities around the area, and 172 industries currently on the map. So those are high and high industries. And then, as you can see here, we're playing with the temperate extended. So I'm going to play from 1990 on this one. I'm going to play it with 4 cargo types on a city each time, so that'll make it a little bit more interesting. We're going to put it on. Actually, sometimes it's pretty good. I quite like that. And then, just to double check, we're on high as it is. So if we make it that it can go to very high, then that should give us a fair few additional industries as time goes on. So yeah, we're going to play with Europe and play from 1990 onwards. Okay, so we have loaded into the map. I've had a quick look around and I've decided that we are going to call this new map something new. I want to take the name of one of the largest cities in the game so far. That is this one, NeoBurgh. So we're going to call this one NeoBurgh. So the reason behind that is because we're starting in the year 1990. As you can see down in the bottom right corner, it's January 1st, 1990. I've altered the date speed to quarter speed just so that we don't go through things too quickly. And this is the largest city in the game so far. It's the only one that has 4 demands, and it requires goods, bricks, tools, and machines. The next one down is Dover, just down the road, and then we've got, I'm not too sure whether that's Ilkeston or Ikeston. We've got Winsford, Broadtree. I really should have read these before I committed to this, and Alfred as well. So quite a few of the larger cities in the area over here, and then we've obviously got a whole load of smaller ones all over the place up here. But something that I noticed, which is really quite interesting actually, is I figured I'd have a quick look at what industries to go for, and I'm quite tempted to go for bricks because bricks have a 1-to-1 conversion rate between stone and construction materials. So unlike, say, steel, where you need 2 ore and 2 coal to make 1 steel, you only need a 1-to-1 conversion rate. I actually noticed something quite interesting. So, as I took a look at the suppliers, a number, well, in fact, all of the stones are in a line. It's really quite peculiar. I've never really seen this before, and it kind of hammered home. Yeah, I want to work on stone initially. So without further ado, we're going to try and create bricks for Berg, and also bricks for any of the other cities that are nearby. But we're going to start with Berg, Berg Le Marche, and take it from there. So what I think would be best is probably a case of if we start by creating. I mean, it's quite interesting actually that these have generated in almost like a perfect line. It's a little bit bizarre. I've never really, like I said, I've never really seen this before. But what I would like to do is, before we get underway with anything, is to try and link these together a little bit so that we have all 5 of these effectively providing stone to the same network as such, the stone network. So let's just build this road here, and then we would need some sort of way across here. So if we just quickly build a road down. Now this is kind of daring because, to be honest with you, when you first start the game, and especially on the difficulty that we've put it on hard, you don't want to be sort of doing passion projects at all. And I kind of get the feeling this is kind of a little bit of a passion project because it's just a little bit unusual rather than, oh, this makes sense, let's do this. So I think what I'll do is I'll go for the middle of the road bridge. So you've got the slow bridge, the middle of the road bridge, and the higher end bridge. And really, the difference between these two bridges isn't that great, but this one only goes to 56 miles an hour. So I'd quite like to just raise that to ensure that any cargo and what have you can travel relatively fast. So if we just maybe bring that down this way, we're going to create a road network that goes between these mines, these quarries, sorry, and then we'll connect in the stone the construction material factory, sorry, over here. So I think if we go out like this, just continue this road along a little bit, that should work quite well. We've got a bridge down here, so we can use this pretty easily if the nodes weren't broken, which is a little bit annoying. Let's try and fix those a little bit. No, it's still just doing that. So what we'll do is we will pop this road into here and that one into there. So then they can come down here and go up to the this area. So what we need to do, if we're going to create a network of these together, we've already spent about 3.3 million, but it should be fine, I'm hoping, with some additional what's it called? What am I thinking? Once we get these up and running is what I'm trying to say, we should be fine. Let's just put this in. So this is going to be quite expensive, to be fair. I don't know whether it's really a good idea to do this, but we're going to give it a try. So I'm going to try like putting these along the way. And the idea is that with these we can hopefully have a line between each of these quarries to interdisperse the raw resources, and then on top of that we'll have a number of extra cargo spots for other things to leave from. So it may actually be just too darn expensive and we won't be able to make any money, which is a very real possibility, to be fair. But this is going to be leading into something that I want to try with this map, which is basically interconnectivity, a lot more than some of my previous maps and things that I've tried in the past. So the idea there is that even though we may have one main city that requires bricks, in this case, Burgh, although there are other cities that want bricks and what have you, we will try to create a bit of a network which not only means that the different supplies or the different suppliers, the different source resources can get to their chosen converter or the factory. So the stone materials in this case can get to the construction materials factory independently of each other. They're also interconnected so that they can use each other's connections, so to speak. So if we put in a quick line, this will be the first line of this entire region, NeoBurgh. So this is quite a momentous new connection that we're putting in. And to be fair, I'm quite happy that it's going to be one that is effectively connecting up the different stone resources. So that goes from here, up there. Then this one has a little bit of problems, so this should be on number 4. Then it goes up here, turns around, and goes back. Perfect. So it's effectively a loop. So this will be cargo. I do this with all my lines. I have a naming convention, whether it's cargo or public transport, and then what the medium of the transport is. So in this case, it's on the road. It is a road line, so I'm going to call it a cargo road line. And then what it is doing, so it's transporting stone, and this is the first one of its kind. So this is the very first stone line. I'm going to color it something similar to the icon, so grey for stone, and then that should allow us to have interconnections between the different stone quarries. I keep going to say stone factories, but they're really not. So if we plop down a doohickey here, we can put down, I guess we'd have to go with pooters, or 40-ton tarpaulin trucks, I should say. I'm going to go with 2 to begin with, because I really don't want too many. In fact, let's color them the color of the line as well. So that's the first stone line. It's literally just going backwards and forwards, and we'll make sure that we have a connection between the different quarries so that we can actually provide stone to the different construction material factories. So if we just quickly go down to the bricks factory here, what this means is if we put a road here between these 2 roads almost, sort of connecting them up, what we can do is if we put a delivery point down here, doesn't really matter where we put it, but then we can put in a line from this particular hub or connection down to here, and that can provide stone. So what we want them to do is probably go to number 4 is all right because this one's using number 3. If we use number 5 as an additional, so if there's trucks here and we want them to fill up from both, they can use the other one. So this would be the same sort of line. It's the cargo road stone line number 2. So this line, if we color this a similar gray and put some more vehicles on it, bearing in mind we don't want to spend too much because ultimately we do need to make money so that we survive. If we color them as well, put them on line number 2. So this would be the first brick factory, or the construction materials factory, or sorry, construction materials plant as it's calling itself, or it calls itself. This is the first one that we've set up. So we've got bricks needed in a few of these different cities. So 1, 2, 3, and the main one down here, Burgh, being 4. It doesn't look like there's actually a road connection here. So if we put one in, then hopefully this will serve as a link that these construction materials can actually use. It looks like there's not one that goes round this other city, and I don't want to cause emissions in it that are unneeded, so I'm just going to try and connect this. Oh, actually, we could connect there. I think we'll give that a try. And as time goes on, we can all, of course, upgrade these roads. At the moment, these are limited to 37 miles an hour, which isn't very fast. So if we connected up a few of these cities, I mean, these are really low-hanging fruit, but they don't have that much demand. Whereas Alford and Burgh have a bit more demand. So let's start out by putting in a large connector. Here we go. So I'm going to put one of these down here. And then what we can do is also connect the bricks factories together. And that way the source materials, so the stone, will be interconnected. So stone from this quarry can help out this one down here to actually provide for this particular construction materials plant and what have you. If we connect up the bricks construction materials, then we can also hopefully interconnect those as well. They're dotted around the map, so it's going to be pretty tricky to actually try. And to be honest with you, this one's like in the middle of nowhere, so that's going to be pretty tricky. But yeah, so we've got our stone line down here. If we could build a bridge across here, that would make so much sense, but we won't for now. If we put in a couple of stops, So we got stop here. We'll put a stop down here. We'll put in a stop over here for Alfred. And then a stop. Oh, this is going to be a tricky one. I'm going to say here for Burgh La Marche. So we will need 4. And actually, we have 4. 4 stops here. So if we take number 1 and put that one on number 1, take number 2 and put that one on number 6, we'll use these central lines for the connections between these factories when we actually get that up and running. So if we just go ahead and connect these in, Burgh La Marche, sorry, this one's, I'm going to call it Ilkley. I literally have no idea. I don't know whether it's 2 I's or whether is it Ickley or Lickley or I don't know. Licky. We could call it Licky maybe. I'm sorry if you live in Licky and that is how I'm mispronouncing it. Please let me know in the comments below how you pronounce it with more words that don't have phonetic meaning. It's like saying, oh, you're spelling that wrong and then spelling it the same way. Anyway, so let's get back to this. We are going to have to name these. So cargo via the road. This is delivering bricks. I mean, technically construction materials, but I'm not going to be pedantic about it. And then we'll name these one by one. Like so. So if we just go into these as well, we can call them the name of the city so that we know where they're going. So number 1 is going to that one. Number 2 is going to Swindon. There we go. A word I can pronounce. Number 3 is going to Alfred. Number 4 is going to Burgh La Marche. Whoops. There we go. So these are now named after the cities they deliver to, and as bricks are a red icon, I'm going to color these red because that makes sense to me and it means that I kind of know what it is I'm looking at when I'm reviewing it down the line. So we have built up our connection that will provide us with stone down here. What I want to do is color these a more colorful red because they had a darker red. I'm going to color it a slightly lighter red so that it represents bricks. But yeah, this is going to be our first line here. Exciting stuff. To be honest with you, I'm quite tempted to nullify this one because it's not going to be useful to begin with, where we only have one factory set up. And to be honest with you, with 1-to-1 conversion rates, it's kind of pointless because you connect one source factory or the quarry in this example to a construction factory, and then you've got exactly what you need going forward. There's no point using this one's stone when this one's 400 is enough to satisfy this one's needs. But anyway, this is what I would like to do or try and attempt to do in this episode, in this series. And to be honest with you, it should be quite interesting. It's really weird how these are all kind of in a line. I promise to you, I did not intend this to happen in any way, shape, or form. But if we hit play, we can start to see these roll out to where they're going. These have already started to try and deliver to our construction factory nearby, which is reassuring. It means that the link is working. So what I will do is I'm going to pay off our loan a little bit, take it down to 4 million, just so then we don't have quite so much to pay back. And these vehicles will start to make their way through. It'll probably be worthwhile us either building a bridge in, which I'm very tempted to do, I've got to admit, and also upgrading the roads between these areas, because if we have better roads, then they can effectively get to places a little bit quicker. So the top speed of this road is 50 miles an hour, and this bridge is also a max speed of 56. So that's perfectly fine. I'm going to raise it a little bit in the middle so that we can get boats underneath and what have you. In fact, it might need a little bit more than that. But ultimately, we're going to stay relatively flat, and then we're going to go down and join in with this road. And this is simply so that the stone doesn't have to come back on itself and do a needlessly long line. So as you can see here, it's a lot shorter now. So that in the long haul should save us a lot of time and money, and may change the prospects of potentially a non valuable line to become a valuable line for all we know. So yeah, this has gone fairly well. This is our first look into NeoBurgh. Hopefully this will start to make us a little bit of money. It's always good when we start to make a little bit of money, especially at these early stages, because it's always a little bit nerve-wracking to know, in fact, I'm gonna repay this more so that we're paying less interest. Because the less that you have to pay, the better in this game. You can see we've got a hell of a lot of stone coming down on line 1, which might be unnecessary. We haven't put this on fill up, so we really do need to. So we want them to fill up on stone and then unload stone down here. And before everything goes Pitong, I'm going to ask these to fill up on bricks and then unload bricks, and then this one fill up on bricks and fill up on bricks. And this way they will definitely leave with a full load and not just leave empty. So hopefully that will be a good way to economize these lines a little bit. We'll have to wait and see. So we do have an entrance here. I literally haven't put it in because it's just going to cost us more money. I'm hoping that this will start to make a little bit of money, because I'll be honest, if it doesn't, then we don't survive. It's that simple. So yeah, we do need to hopefully make a decent amount of money to begin with and succeed. So hopefully this will do. I don't see why it wouldn't. And this has been our first episode. So NeoBurgh is created, or the region, I should say, for NeoBurgh is created, and then we've got our largest city down here, Burgh-le-Marche, with which has started to get bricks from our Littlehampton construction materials plant. So this is gone really well. I'm quite happy with the map. It's not quite what we looked at, actually. I swear that this went a little bit more up, but yeah, I don't know what's happened there. For some reason, the game has created the map a bit differently to what the preview showed, but hey ho, it's created now, and these have started getting their bricks. Let's just double check that these ones are getting bricks and they're unloading bricks. They are. So why are they not making bricks to go on these? Maybe it's literally just a case of these don't have... Oh no, they do have some stone stored. I'm hoping that this isn't going to receive shipment from everything else, and it's going to want this one. It may not. This may be a very bad idea, having everything interconnected, but we'll have to wait and see. Hopefully in the meantime these can make bricks, we can send them to where they're needed, and we can make a little bit of money off of that and see how things go. So yeah, this has been the first episode. Thank you very much for watching, and until next time, have a good one. Goodbye.